Okay, welcome back to the Unknown Fitness Podcast. This is season 2, episode 5.
Or episode 6.
14. No, 15.
15?
16.
16.
6. Oh, fuck, right there. Let's do
Welcome back to another new episode.
an episode, we can tell you that much. And it is new, that is well.
Yeah.
I think we're going to kick off today by talking about a bit of longevity stuff. Specifically, this really atypical kind of movie villain antagonist guy, Bryan Johnson. He's so movie villain, right? I was just literally just thinking this just now.
Didn't he inject his son's plasma or something?
What, his own son?
His own son's plasma or blood, like, because he's got this kind of nickname of, like, vampire.
Yeah. If you don't know who he is, he's basically some Californian dude, really, really rich guy who's basically trying to reverse his own aging process. He's like a 45-year-old man. He's not even that old. He's not even old. Like, so he's trying to, reverse the aging of his body. So he's investing all this money into longevity techniques and experiments and all this kind of stuff, using his own body as some sort of lab rat, essentially.
He is. He's his own guinea pig, isn't he?
And he's put in this article from Fortune saying that he's spending over $2 million this year alone. $2 million. Trying to reverse, so all his techniques range from electromagnetic pulses to improve the muscles in his pelvic floor, device calculating the number of erections he has per night.
Wow.
Fucking,
Because we need to know.
we need to know that, he routinely has MRIs, his body fat, heart rate variability, and blood and stool samples examined. He sees a team of 30 doctors for regular, sometimes invasive tests for what they have named Project Blueprint. He charges apparently up to $1,000 an hour for patients interested in the vast testing that Johnson participates in. So this is one of his doctors, Oliver Zollman. That sounds like fucking villain.
That's something.
Oliver Zollman. If you've got a Z at the start of your surname, you're guaranteed villain, right? This 29-year-old lead doctor, regenerative medicine physician, to help reverse the aging process in every one of Johnson's organs. $1,000 an hour. That's such California shit. That's such Cali shit.
I mean, there's just so much shit here to unpack.
I know, it's insane.
First of all, the money. I mean, like,
Unbelievable.
They're literally using money like.
I mean, it's impossible, right? It's I feel like you can't. I think there's ways of slowing down. Like, you can't. You know how you can go forward in time, but you can't go back in time. The way relativity works, right? I don't think in the same way. I think you can't. You can slow down, reverse. You can't reverse. Like, once it's done, it's done. Like, that's just how
You're constantly heading towards death. So
Yeah.
let's just take out accidental death or whatever with a natural death. Yeah, does it take away disease and everything? We've all got a certain lifespan and we're all heading towards the end of that. And at a certain point, you are sort of, you're just, your body is breaking down. And
right.
you can't stop that breakdown.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
I mean, we've proved that we can live longer. Obviously,
Yeah.
the life expectancy has changed drastically over the past 100
But
years.
you aren't going to start going backwards and actually start regenerating.
Well, then you get you on there also, then, don't you?
Yeah, but you literally can't Benjamin Button.
Yeah, literally.
It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense to throw this.
I don't do like turning back into a baby.
Fucking hell, yeah, just literally going backwards.
It's really intelligent.
I don't know what the end game here is. Is because once you're gone, you won't know what people are talking about, and
Yeah.
you just become a blip in history. Will people really care? And also, the average person is never going to be able to invest that kind of money into eking out a couple of history.
Yes, I just think this guy's having a really, really excessive
midlife
crisis.
Yeah.
The Mr. Zollman said, right, we have not achieved any remarkable results. In Bryan, we have achieved small, reasonable results, and it's so expected.
I read something that was along the lines of through a fitness tracker that it was telling him that he'd reached his peak minimum age. So, like, say he's 45, and his tracker was telling him that the highest age, the lowest age that he could achieve was whatever it might be. Now, I wear a fitness tracker every day. And that tells me the same through the workouts that I put in each week and through the cardio I do each week and through my VO2 max, etc., etc.
Based on statistical pools of data, right?
Yeah, it's just based on heart rate, my VO2, all of this kind of thing, my weight versus my height, and all of these kind of things. And it's like theoretically,
yes, theoretically,
yeah, I'm the youngest achievable kind of metabolic age for myself is whatever it might be. I don't even know what it is because I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, I'm at that point without investing millions and millions of fucking pounds. It just doesn't make sense. It's the same as he every day. I think it's like fucking like 60 pills that he takes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he was saying like he gets up.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't have
dozen supplements a day.
Yeah.
5 a.m. Consumes 1,977 vegan calories a day. Exercising for an hour and hitting the hay at the same time after using blue light evasive glass.
I wonder,
how is this practical?
I wasn't
fucking practical for anybody.
It's not.
It's like even if you had hyperactive, like hyper obsessive, like optimization of shit, it's not fucking practical.
I wonder how just exercising and getting a good sleep would probably get the same result.
You know what's funny though is they did I think there was a study done where they it kind of showed that exercise actually reduces lifespan a little bit. I think that depends on the intensity of the exercise. If you're doing, if you have a really peak athletic career for a very, very long time, you might have a shorter lifespan. But as we were talking about off camera earlier, I think it's the question of, is that question of quality over quantity? Do you want to maybe live 2 years shorter, but you're not in a care home and you can live and fucking run around?
The one thing I don't ever want to be is a burden to my family or my children.
Yeah.
So I know I'm going to die. It's as simple as that. I'm completely at peace with that. And probably unlike a lot of other people, I'm genuinely at peace with that.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me in the slightest because I accept that that's going to happen. It's a reality of life. But because of that, I want to enjoy my life more. I want my kids and my family to remember all the things we do, all the experiences we had, all the fun we had, the meals. Like I don't count my calories to the exact calorie every day. If we want to go out for a meal, then we're going to go out for a meal. Or if we want to sit and eat fucking sweets, then we're going to do those things and we're going to enjoy our lives. Because sometimes it is those small things that make your life enjoyable. Obviously, there's all the bigger, cool experiences and all those things that we're doing together. But that's what I want them to remember is the fun times. I don't want them to remember those last 5 years of my life where they're like wiping my ass in a care, stuff like that. It's like, that isn't living.
Yes, it's not longevity to me.
It's not living for me.
That's surviving.
No, it is. It's literally just being alive and surviving. And someone else is doing a lot of the surviving for you there.
Yeah,
so they're keeping you alive. It's not a good life for me. It's not a good life for the people I care about.
Yeah.
I'm a burden to those people now. And without kind of getting too morbid with this, I would argue that grieving over someone's death is probably easier than watching someone decline and die over
there is
10 years.
There's an argument that could be made there in terms of like when your kids look after you, you looked after them when they grew up, so they look after you when you are going out the door.
Yeah,
there's always going to be gradual decline years. You can't avoid it.
There's always going to be a decline, and I think what you should be doing is looking at the things that you can do in your life day to day to minimize that decline. Now, there's things you just can't control. There's certain diseases and illnesses and things like that, and there's factors outside of all the things he's doing. He isn't going to be eliminating the risk of diseases and illnesses.
Yeah,
like those things could still hit him at any point. You'd still kind of fucking door tomorrow and get hit by a bus, right?
Yeah.
There's too big a set of variables that make all of this just completely futile. Now, I think for me, I just wouldn't want to be that burden towards the end of my family's life. If I could minimize that in any way possible, then that's what I want to do. It isn't fair for me to think that just because I've got kids and I looked after them at a young age, that they owe me something old age. I certainly don't think like that. Yeah, it's just not fair. Being a parent, I knew that I was going to have to look after them, and at some point they become self-sufficient. And once they become self-sufficient, they shouldn't have to go back to caring for me. I should hopefully set my life up in a way that I'm self-sufficient for myself enough going towards the end.
Right.
It is a hard one and it is difficult.
But that's what he says about. So at the end, so apparently it's all fun for him. So he says, Bryan Johnson says, if you say that you want to live forever or defeat aging, that's bad. It's a rich person thing. Right, that's what he said. If it's more akin to a professional sport, it's entertainment. It has the virtues of establishing standards and protocols. It benefits everyone in a systemic way. The fuck does that?
Then I mean, that's just work.
What are you trying to do then?
Yeah.
What's the point of this then? Isn't that the whole point? You're trying to like defeat aging. Isn't that what you're doing?
Yeah.
And you are rich. And you are
rich.
This is a complete rich person thing. No one else can do.
No one else is doing it.
You're doing it because you're rich.
The reason people know this guy's name is because he's doing it because he's rich.
Yeah.
And it's his backstory.
It's when he starts like, what would it be like if he starts like kidnapping people and then like starts using them to make himself live longer? That's his villain arc, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like he started out as a humble scientist and became so obsessed. Well, he's not a scientist, to be fair. He's just investing in others. Just to do the work.
Other people, isn't he?
To do the work for him. But like, if he starts like
killing people,
yeah, and then the way the heroes get to Zolman first, right? And then they go
through them.
They use Zolman's like he's still got a bit of a conscience, so they get to him, and then he dogs him in, and then that's how they finally get. And he's like really hard to kill because he's now so like enhanced. He's really hard to like.
Coming soon, Bryan Johnson, the graphic novel,
or movie. I mean, these days.
Well, we'll sell the rights.
We'll sell the
rights straight on.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't upload this. Maybe
we'll keep this to ourselves.
We'll sell them now. But yeah, this guy's a fucking psycho.
It is just. I mean,
nuts.
Again, it's like living your life like that. I don't know what this guy's family setup is. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what his previous business was.
No, he was like tech
pros. Yeah, probably Silicon Valley bullshit.
Exactly that. And I think, like, if I was living my life like this, my wife would leave me. I'd be a very unhappy single person. And so, would I be happier with or without my wife? Well, of course, I'm going to be happier with my wife.
Fucking hell, right.
Loving that light.
I need to sort the cable.
Is that 2 in a row now?
No, it's 2 back-to-back podcasts.
Yeah.
That's be reoccurring feature.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Maybe that just wasn't the life for him, but
yeah, I don't.
I mean, it just seems like that's a madman.
Yeah. I think he's rich and has a lot of money, and I don't know. This is a very rich person thing. It's a very rich California thing.
I can think of better ways to spend my time and money.
Put it into medicine or something that's actually beneficial to people. That actually has some gem pop kind of.
Benefit. I wonder if.
Because that does inevitably make people live longer.
Yeah, it does. And I wonder if he thinks, though, in his own way, that he is helping people, that he is setting up a blueprint for people. But it's only going to help people if you can get it to the masses.
Yeah.
And if it's costing him all this money, then that isn't something that can go.
No, none of what this is so far is practical.
How do you condense all of that down? Like, just taking, what do you say, 2 dozen supplements a day? Well, that isn't practical.
No.
Most people can't fucking remember to take a multivitamin in
the exact amount of calories or whatever, like, and all this kind of like, and working out, just having the same strict routine or whatever. And like, what point does optimization just become a hindrance?
Yeah, and also if everything is so regimented like that, it's like, it becomes an obsession. It becomes
he's clearly obsessed.
Yeah.
Clearly obsessed. Like, when do you, go watch Dune 2 in the cinema.
Yeah.
Take a day off.
Exactly.
That was your thing. It's like, you're fucking...
Like, this is the thing. Is if I had that kind of money and that kind of time, it's like, yeah, I would care about my health and I would care about my longevity, but I'd be getting it by being outside.
Go to Bali, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I'd be outside having fun. I'd be... wakeboarding every day, I'd be outboarding every day, I'd be going out for amazing trail rides.
Yeah.
I'd be in my garden.
Do fucking it.
Yeah, like I'd just be experiencing things, and probably argue that's better for your longevity than anything.
I wonder if that's just a rich thing. I mean, like you've done all of that, and you're like, oh well, fuck it. Like, I think it must be a fix for him. Like, he gets a kick out of being of this fast or some sort of optimization idea, like of this being at the forefront of some sort of longevity field. I don't know. I mean, the best. Yeah.
I just want to know Who have you?
Yeah. Yeah. What happened, right? Bryce, do you want to do this week's this podcast episode's clip, right?
Yeah, let's do it. No, let's do it. Feel like we're talking about
This
end of life.
this is an interesting one. I don't want you to see the title.
Okay, you go with it.
Okay, this woman's just deadlifting, right? Very heavy weight.
Yep.
3 plates each side with a bit of extra. I just want you to watch the mat underneath her.
The mat.
You see the mat underneath? There's something accumulating at the bottom of the mat there.
She pissing herself.
Pissing on the mat while she lifts.
First of all, I was looking at the bounce on the mat, but
She has pissed all over the mat.
I mean, that's not a little bit of piss either, is it?
That is fucking mental. Why? Go to the toilet. Just go to the toilet before you lift.
I'd give her the benefit of the doubt, perhaps. She's had a child and she's got a weak
pelvic floor.
Took Bryan.
Yeah, maybe. You know, they can look
Very society this.
Yeah, sure.
But
I don't think it's.
stop.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. I don't. Yeah, there's no. I don't see. I've never heard of there ever being a case of like people having such a weak pelvic floor while they lift that they just have to do that.
No.
That's mental.
No.
Someone else has got to lift there. I know, like, you probably clean it up after yourself, but you're constantly using the same mat over and over and over and over. You're just like, what other, like... What?
The other thing is you're now on the internet as the woman that pissed herself was deadlifting.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as she walks into the gym and starts fucking sliding those plates on, they're like, no.
No. Mental.
I don't know where to go with that because it's
just ridiculous. Yeah.
like, okay, everybody at some point in their life has been close to getting called short.
Okay.
We're grown-ups.
Yeah.
And you deal with it. Oh, if I was lifting, I was like, I'm literally about to shit myself. I'm going to the toilet.
Yeah, but I've never had these have piss.
Yeah.
Like, surely before that, you would have known if you needed to piss or not. Like, you don't just start lifting and suddenly need a piss.
No.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me. And let's say she's got weak bladder, or maybe she's had children and she's a bit weaker and things like that. Okay, all of these things are fine, but you're still a grown person with the mental capacity to understand that you're pissing yourself.
Like a nappy almost.
Just stop.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more reps she got after she started, but I'm going to say that standing in a gym and pissing myself in a public space.
Because it's not just that one-off accident. She knows what she's doing. It's not just like, oh, fuck, I pissed myself.
Oh, a little dribble.
Yeah.
Like, that's a proper...
Yeah. But no, like, I'm just letting it go. I'm not stopping my set. I'm just going to continue to piss and lift.
Yeah.
It's clearly fucking strong. Like, she's got... I think those are 25 key plates as well, because they're the red plates.
Yeah, they're rests, so they're 25s.
150...
And then plus, what were those 20s or 15s, the blues?
Probably 20s, right? So it's probably, 210 maybe? 210 kilos, and she's putting that for reps pretty coach. So no, she's probably got a PR of maybe 250, 260, which is she's fucking strong.
She's fucking strong. Very good.
I don't know if this is a private gym, but clearly they don't give a shit that she's just pissing everywhere.
Is
it her own mats? Is like she bring her own mat? Put a fucking towel down. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
just mental to me.
I'm gonna absolutely say that it's just completely unacceptable behaviour.
Yeah.
Even if I have my own garage gym and just me and my wife shared it. If my wife found out that I just pissed on the floor, it would go mental. It would be absolutely fine.
Because if you use the same mat, you're frequently pissing on it.
Yeah. I don't see any excuse.
No. Imagine you couldn't do that in a meet.
No,
You couldn't do that in a meet. Sometimes you see people in meets, they accidentally throw up. It's not like they're in the gym constantly being sick. People get nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like a release of tension, or like, like you see MMA, some shit themselves. But like, it's basically a case of like, but like, you couldn't do that. You know, we were talking like a couple of episodes ago about what you do in training, what you do in com.
Yeah.
You can't piss in com. You can't piss in training.
Yeah. I can't get my head around that.
Drug-free and non-drug, like drug-free and drug competitions, pissing in the
dry competition.
Yeah, competitions.
Hey,
yeah, mental.
There's no excuse.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
She lifted. Oh crap! I've just pissed myself.
Right.
Put the bar down. It's in toilet,
and then come back and go on.
Don't keep fucking joking.
Yeah. How much water are you drinking? Like, probably an excessive amount. I don't want to be crude, but that piss looked clear, right?
Yeah.
Your piss should never be that clear.
No,
You know, it should have a little bit of
beyond hydration.
Yeah. I thought that was I'm not doing piss analyzation yet, but like it's like your I saw some other. I see that I might be the same. I saw another clip similar to this, riding another lady who's pissing on the floor during a lift, and she would say like,
"Was this some kind of?"
I go to the toilet. I'll go like 3, 4, 5 times during a lifting session to the toilet. You're going to the toilet and you're pissing on the mat. How much are you fucking drinking?
So that we know that you can overhydrate and then start to water down, obviously electrolytes and effects in your bodies and those things. And it has unfortunately led to death in the past.
Yeah.
And in going off on a slight tangent here, so quite often there's been kind of like deaths in teenagers, not fitness related, but when they've been taking ecstasy and things like that, where they consume too much water. Because it kind of obviously said if you are going to do things like that, then you should be taking water, but they go the other way, and it causes a breakdown in obviously the kind of balance in their body. So this can lead to death by being overhydrated. There is a line that we should obviously be going to, and like you say, obviously completely clear fluid like that. I'm pissing that much. Just
you need to piss like you physically can't hold it.
Yeah,
there's something clearly wrong there. Like she should. I mean, she's relatively. I don't know what conditions are people that bad of a weak pelvic floor, but she should have a weak pelvic floor if she's that fucking kind of.
That's wrong. That's if they got a
condition, like an actual condition, which I've never heard of.
But if you had a condition and you were aware of that condition, you would wear something.
Yeah, you'd wear like a diaper or something, or you'd put a fucking towel down and put a bucket there. I don't fucking know anything. A leaky bucket. I don't fucking know.
And now we're in a bucket again.
Yeah. She's just like in a gym bag. She's got a bucket, like the only one. But yeah,
that's true.
Mental. It's just bad fucking gym etiquette. I don't know. It looks like a private, maybe strongman gym.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't look like a commercial gym.
But I still don't think how makes it.
Be like fine with that.
Yeah,
having your own private gym. I don't want to come in and pissing on my floor. So I want to train at your gym for my next powerlifting meet. By the way,
especially as you get a lot of powerlifters barefoot or in socks or whatever it might be.
I don't have a problem with that. That doesn't bother me.
Does if I'm standing on piss?
Yeah, if it. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. If you're standing on piss and that, it's just like
that's
mental.
Whether it's a problem.
Mental.
I
pray that she cleans that up after herself. I'd pray that I'm going to give her the benefit of that again and say that she cleans up after herself.
Yeah.
Because if she's not, then that is outrageous.
Well, then you should just be outright.
Throw that away. It's unhygienic. I mean, gyms are unhygienic as it is, let alone with piss all over the floor.
Yeah. I can't see any world where that was acceptable.
No.
And the reason I think it was completely unacceptable is because she just carried on.
They're filming it and putting it in the zone, not expecting people to be like
that. That's the bit for me that's the problem. Accidents happen, but it was the continuing on with it. It's like you've already lifted the weight, it just proves you can lift it. Like the extra couple of reps. Yeah, totally unacceptable in my opinion.
I mean, all the comments are just like, it's ridiculous. Someone look at the puddle of sweat from their hard work. Yeah, I mean, so that's my clip for today. That's my piss clip for today. Just because that one is just like, that is completely outrageous.
I've never seen anything.
No.
I've seen, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was quite a few years back, quite a famous jiu-jitsu tournament where a guy looked like he shit himself partway through. I think he's been like Bryan, there's been MMA. But they essentially just get up and walk off the mat and they do what they've got to do.
Yeah, right.
I've been training with someone.
Yeah, it happens.
I've been training with someone where it happens. I wasn't rolling with at the time. I was in the same room and literally no one actually knew what happened till the next session. Guy just was grappling, then suddenly got up, picked his bag up and left. And we were just like, what's that? And we're like, did you do something? Like, what happened? He was like, I don't know. I was just rolling with him. And then he got up and walked out. Next session, he was just like, shit myself a little bit. I was a bit, I've left. So fair enough. But I mean, he did the right thing. Yeah, he didn't kneel on the floor and he just got up and dealt with it.
To make a big deal of it.
Yeah, like just quietly left. So there was a lot of confusion for a few days. I don't know what happened to him. We were like texting him like, mate, what happened? He's like, no reply. I guess he just had to build up the confidence.
Quite is concerning that, so like a little bit. Why the fuck did he just leave? Yeah. He just remembered he left the oven on.
I bet that's
I mean, like, it's just leave.
I don't know. I guess it's one of the.
I've only ever had to like, you know, like just like some fucking fired or something, or like whatever. That's the only time I've ever had like that happens on occasion when you're just doing heavy and you're like, fuck, I can't move, feeling just gonna fart my brains out right now. Because you're creating that much intra-abdominal pressure, it's gonna fucking like it's gonna happen at some point if you're eating or whatever.
100%.
Like it's not, we can't all escape that kind of thing.
There's a difference between that and shitting yourself, just pissing yourself.
Listen,
and I think I would actually argue that it's probably easier to shit yourself lifting than it is to piss yourself.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I feel like actually sometimes like
I would have to make myself pee.
Yeah, I feel like holding. Like if I don't want to go to the toilet, I'll hold in a piss while I'm doing my session. I feel like I'll go in a bit. It's not like fuck. I'm like lifting and it's getting worse. I never.
No.
More of a piss.
No, definitely not.
You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? Yeah. Anyway,
not where I expected the conference to go this morning, but
yeah, my fault.
Yeah. Just on every level, that's unacceptable.
For your Saturday morning,
there's no good reason.
Way to kick off for the weekend with that one.
Yeah, I will be going home and sharing my wife.
Yeah,
no, on it.
Yeah, I so too.
Pretty much know what her opinions.
Well, it's just disgusting. It's just isn't it? I know what wants to see that.
Of course. Unacceptable. That's it.
Yeah, that's the word of the day is unacceptable. Yeah, brilliant. I guess I wanted to do a little bit of have you seen this guy? I don't know how much you're on Instagram. You're on Instagram? Not much.
I really do need to up my social media game.
Do you know a chap called Abbew?
No.
He has gained an insane amount of popularity recently. Let me get a clip of him up. His whole kind of approach is he's an ex-IFBB pro.
Okay.
So he was a previous bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And he has a YouTube apparently as well, I've just found out. All his Instagram videos are basically, his famous phrase is wake the fuck up, right? He's very about being very, very clean in regards to eating. He's one of those people that goes into supermarkets and does, like he'll just stand in front of an aisle of snacks and be like, this is all shit. Like, this is all like...
This is the older guy. Yeah, I do know grey beard. Yeah. I know who this is.
I don't know what his, like, accent is. He's got a really cool... I think it sounds Londonish, but with some maybe, like, I'm not sure what it's heritage. But yeah, it's been like a conflict for me recently because like he's very like no processed food, no like eat properly.
This the other day
and like he's got almost like 3 million followers on Instagram now. He's blown the fuck up.
I saw the other day somebody kind of like showing him a pot noodle. Fuck off, that's not food.
Right
and so on, all these other sort of things.
I don't think he's educated in nutritional science. I don't really think he fully knows how a lot of it works. Obviously, he's ex-IFBB pro, fine. He's a 1 meal a day person now, and he's all about eggs and things like this. He fucking loves eggs. It's a bit of a meme. I guarantee you, though, like he wasn't eating 1 meal a day when he was an IFBB pro.
No.
It would have been impossible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or online, you know.
No.
The thing that concerns me with people like this, there's a chap called Paul Saldino as well. He's a fucking twat. He just hops on every fucking trend that is going. I just think there's a YouTube video here that says 5 ways to control insulin and lose body fat. I mean, that title alone to me is a red flag.
Yeah.
Controlling insulin and all that kind of thing. I don't think these people are massively nutritionally educated, a lot of these people, or they'll just hop on the recent thing. I think my issue with it is I think the more you say to people what they can, what they can't do, people get overwhelmingly confused. And I think a lot of his comments are very positive. He's got a bit of a cult following now. If anyone slacks him off, you get a bunch of Eddie fans in your comments being like, you know, and then they'll just completely... He's never once cited a study. He's never once been like, oh, I'm saying this because of all this data. It's never that. It's just, wake the fuck up, blah, 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 blah. And I think my problem a lot with this is I think it reinforces actually bad habits, because the more you say to people what they can't do, I'm pretty sure eating disorders is the leading cause of suicide.
Yeah.
Which is so, you got to wonder why that is. And I think the problem is the more you tell people what they can't do, the more guilty they feel when they do those bad things. And a lot of people in the comments be like, oh, I lost weight, I did this, that, and the other, because of what he says. Okay, you may have switched up your eating, but the problem, it's not the clean eating that's made you lose weight. What's more than likely has happened is that you're eating lower palatability foods, so it's harder to eat a whole massive plate full of broccoli than it is a plate full of pizza, right? So you're probably, because if you're eating cleaner, you're probably eating less.
Yep.
Which can be a benefit for eating cleaner food. It's got low palatability. You're not going to necessarily overeat. It's not the food itself. If you calorie equated that clean food with pot noodles, you would still lose weight.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that you're eating clean that's making you lose weight. That makes up such a
calorie deficit.
It makes up such a small proportion of and if you're trying to do this 1 meal a day thing and you're trying to build muscle, you can fucking forget about it.
Yeah,
there's this argument that it spikes growth hormone when you fast. It's and obviously it could be an anabolic hormone. But the only reason you're having a spike in growth hormone is because your body then has to use more of its own energy, therefore to keep it running. Growth hormone is only used in an anabolic sense when you have an excess of calories and protein and carbs available. It's not going towards growth. It's going towards keeping you alive.
Yeah. The 1 meal a day thing is, I just can't get my head around it. Yes, people are going to lose weight. Simple as
yeah, because you're eating less.
Because you are in a massive calorie deficit. Unless that meal is going to be 4,000 calorie meal. Yeah. And then you still got to look at the fact that it's over 24 hours, 7 days a week, whatever. What kind of food you might even still be, but that's completely irrelevant depending on the person. But let's say the average person eating the average meal a day, 1 meal a day, I'm assuming no snacks, maybe calories from food, you're still going to be in a massive deficit. That's why you're losing weight, not because that 1 meal a day is good for you. There's so many things. I mean, we already talked about kind of breakfasts and eating habits on the previous episode, but I just don't understand how that is okay for people to give out the advice that you should be eating 1 meal a day. Okay, like we say, eating disorders.
Yeah.
People are going to feel guilty for eating 1 meal a day, or
suddenly going into that. If you've been eating 3 meals a day and you suddenly go to 1 meal a day, you're going to be fucked.
It's just going to do so much to you.
You'll be so fatigued, mentally fatigued.
And we know that we need carbohydrates to fuel our brain.
We need fat,
and you order these things, and that's what people should be preaching, is more about balance of things. I do watch what I eat, in the sense that I don't eat a cheesecake every single day.
Yeah.
I eat sensibly, I eat healthy, I snack in between, but I never feel guilty about any of those.
No.
The snacks that I'm having are relatively healthy. Some days they might be better than others, of course. But if I'm going to go out for a meal with my family, I'm not going to feel guilty because I had some desserts.
Yeah.
Because that 1 meal doesn't push me over the edge.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me fat. I need that balance to make me happy. Again, going back to the whole Bryan Johnson thing, that experience of being out with my family and sharing some dessert is so much more important to me long term than starving myself and being the odd one out in my family and sitting on the sideline type thing.
Yeah.
And the damage that's probably doing, the damage that I'm reflecting onto my children as well. I shouldn't be eating dessert and all of these sort of things. So I think it is really important that we do eat the crap things with the good things, but it's understanding balance. Going down to that kind of having 1 meal a day, it's suddenly you've just got this whole bunch of people that are brought up seeing this person, and he might be a big influence in their life, and they suddenly feel guilty, like you say, once they step outside of that 1 meal a day. It is going to be damaging to so many people, and people don't know these days where to turn for education, so they go to social media, they go to Instagram for their education. If they've got somebody really pushing their point, that's what they start to believe. And
organic is another things labeled as organic, they're not better for you. There's in terms of what he'll often do is he'll go in, he'll bring you just a packet of something, and it'll have quite a lot of ingredients on it, and it's his argument is the less ingredients on the label, the better the food. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. Like the chemicals that they put in stuff is generally for preservation.
Yes.
Don't you want your food to last longer?
Yeah.
And the amount of those chemicals you have to consume to actually have a negative is astronomical.
Isn't it? So people argue about like sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, and aspartame.
Yeah.
There's more natural aspartame in one tomato.
Yeah, right. You have to have 24 cans a day or something ridiculous to actually get to the carcinogenic levels.
To get somewhere.
Chemicals in food. So generally, like of the 100 group of like the top 100 carcinogens in the world, over half of them are like what you consider natural or foods anyway.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's ridiculous. This idea that chemicals are bad. It's like the idea that like especially in this country where we're very health and safety regulated. The idea that all of these chemicals in food are just somehow all making you worse is nuts to me.
Which is mad.
That is so regulated and tested. Like
people aren't just falling over in the street.
No, because of eating a piece of processed food. Like, you know, it's like
I agree that if we process food day in, day out, and we eat too much of it, it's going to have a negative impact on our health. But is the negative impact all of the processed food, or is it the consumption of too many calories?
Yeah. Usually, generally, the heavier you are, the more risk you have of things like type 2 diabetes or cancers or various things. It's the way it's being heavy. It's not necessarily food composition or what your food is made up of makes up such a small percentage of of your goals and what they're made up to be. The if it fits your macros thing, generally is in a lot of senses a sound principle, because you can eat a very really wide range of things. Oh, this is right. I've got lemon sorbet in my freezer. Forgetting I've got lemon sorbet. Sorry, this is really random.
No.
I've had it in there for a month, and I keep forgetting. It's
anything lemon.
I'm gonna have some fucking lemon sorbet tonight. So fuck you, Eddie. I'm having lemon sorbet.
I'm buying a lemon meringue pie.
Yeah, let's fucking do it. Yeah, brilliant. This idea that just like food going through a process. Like, how do you think we're meant to feed 70 million people in this country without processing food?
Yeah,
like, are you mental? Like, it's bonkers to me.
It's also, where do you draw the line at something being processed?
Yeah, it's like,
any of the food or is manufactured or processed.
A piece of chicken breast has gone through a process.
What's a fucking apple has? It didn't take itself from the tree to my kitchen.
No, it's gone through a process.
It has been processed. It's been cleaned. It's been but something has happened to take it from A to B.
Yeah. Our ass and stuff. Like, what's that even mean?
I know.
Like, it's just like mad. It's insane. The organic thing is complete fucking shit. Like, it's a marketing thing. The actual differences in health are so minor. It's just more expensive.
Yeah.
It's a marketing tool.
It's absolutely. I do genuinely believe, and I would use myself as a case study.
That's what Eddie looks like.
Yeah, that's exactly who I thought it was. Yeah. I genuinely believe it comes down to the number of calories that you consume.
It is. You can't beat thermodynamics.
Exactly. And then this is what then kind of starts to happen is this is where people start to plateau and things like that. So let's say I'm bulking, we'll go the other way.
No.
I mean, okay, I want to put weight on. I consume an extra 300 calories a day, and I start to see a slight incline in my weight. Okay, now sometime that incline in my weight is going to get slower and slower because I've reached
your BMI.
The limit. Yeah, I've reached that limit of what those 300 calories need to do. So now I need to add another 300.
Yeah.
And of course, I'll gain weight if I hit that. Now, that isn't an infinite process because at some point you just simply can't put on it.
No, and you need to have, I think having diet breaks is important. So, like, if you're doing a bulking phase, it's good to have, do this.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same when you go the other way, when people lose weight and like, I just can't quite get that last little bit stubborn, whatever. Yeah. It's actually because let's say you've dropped 500 calories a day, and now your body is functioning at a weight that is perfect for those 500 calories.
You can adjust
You can adjust this and then come down a little bit more.
For me, and so on, then dip in. Yeah, same with.
Yeah, exactly. Because at some point, your body self-regulates itself, like say thermodynamics, against the number of calories that you're consuming. So you're the right weight for the number of calories.
Yeah.
That makes absolute sense. Now, for me, I don't really look at it on a day-to-day basis like that. I'm very much kind of...
I regard it.
No.
I just try... For me,
just try to eat a sensible... Yeah.
I try to get
sensible amount of food of it. I know if I've overeaten, and I know if I've undereaten. And some days, those things will just happen. You might be busy with work, you might be busy with family, kids, whatever it might be. Sometimes you're grabbing stuff on the go. It's like you've got through lunch on just a coffee and whatever.
Yeah.
That happens. Of course it does. The same way that you might go to a wedding at the weekend, you might have a big blowout, loads of booze, loads of food, whatever it might be. those things on their own don't really matter. Yet those things on a day-to-day basis, that would change things. If you were drinking every day and you were overeating every day, then of course you're going to start to put on weight. The same way that is if you're skipping meals day in, day out, then you're going to start to lose weight. Yeah. And it is just about finding balance. And that balance can be made up of good and bad food. I would also argue that if you are so restrained and so tight on what you eat, that's where you then start to move towards obsession and start to move towards a disorder or disordered eating at least. And I think you'd be much better just kind of go, well, if I spend 80% of my time eating really, really well, really healthy, and I've got this little window, whether it's a day, maybe 20%, or whether it's at the weekend, I kind of go out and have my splurge, whatever it might be. But there's a point where you can enjoy your food.
Yeah.
Then you should.
Yeah.
Because let's be fair, good food is enjoyable.
Yeah, this is a lot of the argument as well. They're always like, people would say like, oh, I don't want to cut out everything, so I want to enjoy my life. And then people are always like, yeah, but like it's quality of life. Yeah, but for me, I think when we talk about quality of life constantly, and I think enjoying food and like then a good time and being able to have a drink is quality of life.
It is a quality.
That in that context, it is quality of life. Being able to enjoy different foods and enjoy stuff and like have a binge, have a Mackey's, man. It's fine.
As somebody who is married with children, we don't get to go out for nice meals very often because we've got young children, and it's harder. But if we do go out for a nice meal, I really want to go out and enjoy it. I want to get a nice environment. I want to have the tastiest thing. I want to have the richest. I really want it to be
like, nice. See, we're not saying do that every fucking day.
No.
If you've got goals, you have to be consistent. That's the main thing, is adherence, right? If you want to lose weight, unfortunately, you're going to have to restrict yourself for a while. It doesn't mean what that's made up of. If you want, you could still have a Mackie, sure. If it fits within your calorie window, that's fine. You might just not be able to eat much the rest of the day. But it's a case of, in specific cases. But if you're just eating to maintain or just generally exist, and you're not really worried about those kind of factors, you have so much leeway. Gaining and losing is hard, but maintaining in strength and diet is so much easier.
As I don't mean to go on about when I was a fighter, but when I was a fighter,
I didn't know you were.
I got it.
I thought your ears was a bit funny.
I obviously used to cut weight, and I used to make weight for a fight. Now, it's not talked about, but the biggest number of male eating disorders in the UK, and it possibly could be Europe as well, is within judo, because it's a weight-based sport.
Right.
Okay, and a lot of the male competitors are really fucked up on their eating because they're obviously trying to make sound weight. And it's the same within combat sports. Yeah, boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, etc. Everyone has got this kind of disordered eating to some degree because they're constantly making weight. As somebody that's gone through that, I've competed at 61.5 kilos, 65.9 and 70.5 kilos. And for all of those, I had to make weight. Obviously, 70 kilos was the most comfortable. It's closer to my walk-around weight. But I cannot tell you how miserable I was trying to make weight for 61 kilos. Literally every calorie I consumed, I was aware of. And I really have to learn. It's horrible. It fucks with your head. It fucks with your relationships.
Yeah.
Like your concentration levels. Like all of these things just aren't good. The chance of risking injury, all of these things are higher because you are functioning at such a depleted state.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, once you have that fight and you get past that, you've then got to try and readjust your mindset again to get back to normal. So then it's this case of like, oh, I start to put some weight on, I start to feel normal again, but then it's like, I've just signed another fight, so now I've got to go back into that disordered eating. And then suddenly this is a cycle that you're following for like 2 years. And at the end of those 2 years, suddenly it's like, my normal eating routine now is to like shun a dessert. It's like, I don't want bread. I can't eat that after 6 o'clock. It's like unintentionally you've created this eating disorder of some type that you never set out to have in the first place. You started this journey trying to be healthy, and you've come out the other end with like these issues. And it really under-acknowledged how kind of dangerous this is for people and how common this is as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the big things here is that people are then making themselves miserable and not talking about it because they are so hyper focused on the food and their food intake and all of that. Now, if that can happen to somebody that is a competitive person competing at a high level and all of that, surely that can happen to the everyday person when they're just following this random advice from people that they can just quite easily fall into these traps of eating one meal a day.
Yeah.
And just really sort of doing long-term
Found that they can actually eat like 2 things in the supermarket.
And just, you should not be walking around day to day feeling guilty.
There's people out there saying broccoli and oats are bad for you.
I don't even know what to do with that.
You're a fucking idiot.
I don't.
And it's why I was like, I've no respect for people who what they'll do is they'll take a study and they'll manipulate it and they'll fucking just work it in such a way. That's the problem. You can't even trust people who quote studies.
No.
A lot of the time, you really can't. It's so hard for because it's my job and it's like my business. At the end of the day, I'm not a nutritionist.
Yep.
It's not my area, right? I'm a strength training person, but that's what I do. But obviously I need to know about nutrition because it's important because I get a lot of questions. And I'm trying to make my knowledge better on it. But it's a case of, people who will take a lot of this data and manipulate it in such a way to get, either to sell an idea or a book or some sort of program or methodology. And for the general population, it's like they're not doing what I'm doing. They're just, all they see is they come across someone on Instagram and then it's suddenly that's what they believe. At the end of the day, it's like, it sounds right.
I remember years ago, somebody just sort of, they weren't giving me the advice, but they were giving somebody in the room the advice. And same as you, they were like, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not the expert in this. But he was like, this is how I live my life. I know that an apple is healthier than a Mars bar. Yeah. If I want a snack, I'm going to pick the apple, but sometimes I'm going to pick the Mars bar.
Yeah.
I pick the apple more than the Mars bar. I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
That was it. It was just really, really simple.
Yeah, right.
Make the right choice.
Yeah, right.
Or the bad choice.
Most of the time, yeah.
But have the bad choice.
Yeah, right.
And that was it.
Just be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
There's nothing that should necessarily be off limits. Don't ever be like, I can never have this ever again. Because more than likely, you're going to fucking have it.
Yeah.
And the amount of people, statistically, more people who lose weight will always get it back.
Yeah.
Always. The average is the majority of people will gain back the weight they lost.
I think as well, there's this...
why the fuck that is? Because what you're doing is not sustainable.
The problem that we've got as well, and this has been a problem for a long time, and it's probably very, very exaggerated now, is that, people equate fitness with the wrong thing. They equate health with the wrong thing. It's all about being ultra ripped. It's all about having a six-pack. And we've heard that, how do I get a six-pack? How do I do it? It's like, is that your definer of fit and healthy?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
That's because you only ever see the top echelon, don't you? That's the problem.
Exactly.
That's the average Joe.
The average person that has got these photos on their kind of Instagram, things like that, there's a very good chance that they cut down to get into that shape, had a shit ton of photos taken at one period, and they're recycling stuff that they probably don't actually walk around looking like that. Yeah. We've seen a lot of these kind of clips where it's kind of like the 20-minute comparison between sort of being bloated and ripped and these sort of things. And it's a moment in time. Fighters, it's a moment in time when they step onto the scale. How many of them look a lot softer and a lot more blown up come fight time, and then they do that moment when they stand on the scales. I've got photos of myself where I'm absolutely ripped being on the scales because I only had to be like that for about 5 seconds of my life.
Yeah, right.
And things like that. And it is very false. But again, you're selling that false as a long-term image.
Yeah.
That image exists forever, whereas that moment didn't.
Yeah.
But the whole point is having a six-pack doesn't equate to fitness. It doesn't make you... It just means you're leaner. You should put less body fat on your stomach. Doesn't make you stronger. You could probably argue that people that are that lean are often weaker. Yeah, there's so many varying body types, and there's so many sort of different variables in this that having this one single definition of what fit looks like just isn't accurate.
Yeah.
pound for pound, I'm probably stronger than a lot of people that are a shit ton heavier than me, although they can lift a heavier weight. But as a percentage, I'm going to be stronger than that. It's the same. It's like my goal isn't to be a bodybuilder, so I'm not a bodybuilder, but I'm more kind of focused on being that all-round kind of athlete where I've got a decent enough running pace, but I've got fast pace, but I've also got endurance. I'm also strong for my size. I've got this all-round thing. And you've got someone else where their focus is going to be just endurance running. So there's a good chance that they probably weigh about 10 kilos less than me, but shit, they can't run me for days. You can have guys that are 20 kilos heavier than me, but they can lift me and they're stronger and heavier, and they probably look a shit ton better. All of us are fit in our own relative bubble.
Yeah.
We all look really different.
Yeah, there isn't a universal definition of what fitness actually means.
No, and people get hung up on and I know it's boring to kind of look at the numbers, but people get hung up on the look of fitness rather than the actual data of fitness.
Yeah.
So you could have somebody who
not a perfect coincidence,
looks amazing, but they've got like a 30-minute 5K, and then you've got somebody like me that just looks like your average guy in the street.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Earlier this week, I did 17-minute 5K. Way away from my PR, but I'm not in 5K shape at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm still running a 17-minute 5K.
Yeah.
So our relative fitness there is very, very different.
Yeah.
Although he might look more like your typical fitness.
I've had an old guy comes to gym. We tested his VO2 max, and very average looking dude, little bit of weight on him. He has, for his age group, which was between 50 and 60, he's in the top 1% of the world.
Brilliant.
And like in this world, for his age group, you wouldn't know. You would not know. He's just, and that for him is a natural gift of VO2 max. Like it's purely natural gift, so like that's genetic, whatever. I think there is a genetic component for the.
There is VO2
max.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a genetic component for a lot of things, really. Things like, back pain, I think a lot of time is genetic. Various pains and things are always genetic. That's why I think my knees are always going to go, because I'm always bad knees. And I'm having knee problems.
And you start
I'm starting to feel my knees already. I feel
passed down those back.
Yeah, I'm going to have a knee replacement at some point. But no, it's it's one of those things, really. Guess what I've got at the moment? An ingrown toenail. Fucking nightmare when you're climbing. When you're climbing, you got this
painful in general.
Adidas shoes.
Oh yeah, because they're so
thrown. Like, so I was climbing outdoors yesterday, and like every time I came off the wall and I'd land, it would like straight. So I have to take the shoes off and just get that pressure.
So, do you have to have that removed, or is you just buy it?
I removed it myself. Sure, I still was half. Yeah. I probably thought to go to a doctor.
I remember as a kid, I used to pick my toenails, like
try quite a nail,
and I have like toenail removed as a kid, and it was fucking miserable.
Oh, yeah.
And then I still carry on picking.
Yeah, it's like the one day of dry weather we've had. I haven't been outdoors climbing in a month because the weather's been shit. Because I need like 3 days of dry. So yesterday was that day where I had 3 days of dry. Yeah, so I got this project at the moment. I literally got the last. Yes, I did the first maybe 80% of it on the first session, figured that all out. It's all pretty straightforward. I've literally got the last like 2 moves or so, and it's been an absolute nightmare. There's a massive hole near the top, and it's basically been the transition between finding one hole in this little kind of strip that's good enough for me to get up to that. And what I kind of realized now is actually the hardest part of it is actually sorting the feet out. So at the bottom, there's a lot of good feet that I can put my feet on. At the top, as I get higher up, the feet just become worse and worse and worse. So it's becoming like a really technical foot problem. I think right at the end of the last session, I figured out the method that I'm going to use in the future. I just need to get my feet just like a little bit higher. So like the last move, I'm literally holding maybe a 20-25 millimeter edge like this way, and then a big hold like this. And I'm like that's where I'm near the top. And it's quite scary when you're up there. And then after that, I literally just need to slap to the lift and I'm good. So I'm hoping next session I'll be able to do so. The problem is, obviously, it's just starting to rain again now. So I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait again to get back out. I was really hoping to do it yesterday because I was just like, well, it's been a month. I want to get it done. It's been driving me mental. So I was a little bit like just defeated at the end of it. I was like, fuck's sake, I haven't done it. I had a method that I was going to try, and then I realized when I came back, I was like, shit, that's not actually going to work. So I had to figure something else out. I think I finally got it. But I'm kind of happy about that. I'm kind of happy that it isn't easy, because if I'd shown up on the first session and done it, I would have been like, okay. But the fact that it has taken me this much work, it's like, it's actually been worth it. So like, it's actually, the grade that I'm actually going to give it when I do it, I think is going to be higher than I originally thought, by probably 2 grades higher, because of this, how technical it's actually becoming. But it's also doing that yesterday has made me realize that I think my original plan for this, like the next training block, was just, I had some like indoor goals that I want to get done. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually spend the next 6-12 weeks training all for outdoor climbing. I think it's given me, even though it wasn't like the best day out, it's made me realize actually what I want to devote this entire summer to is climbing outdoors, and just really like, and get around places and see places and climb out. I want to enjoy the weather as much as I can. I was like, sure, why am I like trying to train for doing indoor stuff? I want to train for outdoor stuff. So I'm going to devote all my training towards getting out and about and actually going seeing some places, because all my goals long term are outdoor related. They're not indoor related. And inevitably, growing and climbing anyway, I'll still get better indoors. But the comp style of climbing and like what they do in competitions doesn't appeal to me. The climbing videos I watch when I'm at home, it's all outdoor stuff. It's all outdoor stuff. It's the stuff I want to do. So I want to gear all my training. I want to be an outdoor climber.
Yeah, I can relate that to running quite easily, in the sense that
not a treadmill run,
not a treadmill run.
Yeah,
I start that.
Yeah.
Or I did have a good session.
It was bad.
Take it from me, 18K on a treadmill was miserable.
Yeah.
But it's more, I'm not a road runner. I much prefer trail running.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I much prefer trail running. Yeah, because it's an environment I love. I love the variabilities of it
compared to like road. Yeah, that's right.
I just much more enjoy it. I love weaving through forest. I love finding a trail that might not have been run before.
Yeah,
might not even exist. Bushwhacking, whatever it might.
Same way, like I found this project that no one's ever done. It's doing something untouched. It's like
I think as well. There's more of a mental element to it as well.
Yeah,
I see trail running, going out and just, I think, going through forest, avoiding obstacles, finding new trails and things like that. I'm more mentally engaged with it, and it's probably very much the same for you. You're climbing on these routes that might not be climbed for, a new puzzle to solve.
Yeah,
so you're mentally as well as engaged. I know, like a few episodes ago, we talked about kind of like speed climbing, where it's the same trail on the same course every time.
So routes.
Yeah, I mean, the mental engagement there is also going to be a lot less than trying to figure out a brand new puzzle.
Yeah,
because that comes down to muscle memory.
Yeah, right.
Just building speed over time.
Speed.
Whereas obviously kind of finding your own projects and creating your own routes. And
it's about the experience at the end of the day. It's all about the experience. And there's a lot around, there's so much bouldering around, like within an hour's drive or where.
The thing that I find as well with trail running, this might be very similar or it might not, is that you can find trails, and I'm assuming you can probably find climbs that just weren't there. You didn't know they were there. Park the car up and
like, so generally I go off, I've got a Bristol bouldering book thing. So I generally, a lot of what I've done recently where the weather's been shit is I've just been going to the places anyway, just to see them, because it gives me like, I always struggle to just go somewhere for the sake of going somewhere.
Okay.
But if there's like an actual like thing there that I want to see, it gives me way more incentive. So I went to Wye Valley not long ago, place in the Wye Valley, and it was about an hour away. This really cool cave called Biblin's Cave. It's massive. There was no one else there. There was a giant quarry as well that just happened to be there, which you can just like hop in and walk around. Like, it's very easy to just go in there. It was very quiet, beautiful views everywhere, and it was lovely. But there's also this really cool bouldering spots, way beyond my level. I mean, like, Jesus Christ. I mean, you're talking grades that are in like the top 0.1% of climbers in the world, right? Maybe one day. But it's just cool to go see these places. So I've been trying to just like, when the weather's been shit, I've just been kind of, because a lot of the time there is sometimes practical elements to like, sometimes you have, the fun of it is actually finding the places.
Yeah.
Because they're marked on the map, sometimes fairly vaguely. You have to find them if they're in the woods or whatever. You have to find these places. I've been to places recently where I just couldn't find the thing. So figuring that in advance, when I do come back, it's like, oh, I know the best way to go. I know if it's going to be difficult to bring mats down or what. So from a practical element, it's quite good as well.
Yeah, no, I can completely just relate to that.
Yeah.
And I think as well, just being out and
getting out. Yeah, why do they get out and enjoy? Yeah, get out and about,
feeling sunshine on things like that.
Exactly.
You do feel better for it.
Yeah, I don't want to be stuck.
No doubt about it.
I'm going to use indoors where you train. That's what I'm going to use for training. Board climb, it's all just going to be, the indoor is going to be like, how can I get better outdoors in here? And generally there's, most outdoor climbers, they use the boards a lot more like the wooden boards, which are like always fixed, they never change, and they're just, those kind of climbs. I'll obviously still do stuff around the gym anyway, just for fun, because I enjoy it.
This is it. It's as the weather's improving for me now, it's like it's more trail running because it's starting to get less muddy. And there's obviously going to be a lot of kind of wet places, but you know where you can and can't run, things like that. Then on the days when it is wet, I'm going to run on the roads. But then even the road runs I do, I'm picky about where I go. I tend to go off on like country lanes, things. Yeah, there's less people, there's less traffic. It is a slightly more uneven surface. Yeah, it's like that. And then if I really have to, I'll go hit a treadmill, which is always kind of my last resort, because running stationary on a treadmill for an hour, the bus is just absolutely miserable. Huge benefits to it. I don't want to take away from it. Like if you're trying to run at a certain pace, it takes away that kind of mental fatigue of having to.
From a physical standpoint, there's a problem.
It's a mental standpoint. From a mental standpoint, it's just absolutely brutal. I probably do hard treadmill run maybe once every 6 weeks, and physically fine. Mentally, it's a drain. Because you're staring at the same thing over and over again. And I get a lot of it from a physical point of view, but I don't enjoy it. It's as simple as that. I really, really don't enjoy it. But you've got to do these things. It's a tool.
Yeah, it is a tool. Yeah, 100%.
I think that's what people need to look at it at. Totally a place for it though, for people starting out. If people are new to the gym, jump on a treadmill, see if you enjoy it, see if you enjoy running, things like that.
Yep. I think there's like it can be a little bit less stress on you as well, like that. I didn't realize there was actually wood under the treadmills.
Yes,
wood. Didn't know that.
Plants going over.
Makes sense. But like, because we had one of our
sounding that they changed.
Yeah, I was just fucking running on plywood. But like, there's because we had one of our treadmills, the track got like displaced, so like it shifted over, like to the side, and you could see underneath it. And I was like, oh my god, I'd never like seen the underground of the treadmill. I don't know how the hell the guy managed that, by the way.
To shift it.
Yeah.
I've seen him shift it, but I don't know yet.
Yeah. He was walking on it like sideways.
Like a crab.
Yeah, I think so. Or something like that. I don't know.
I should like this. Yeah.
I would love to have actually see, because we don't have cameras in there, but it would have been nice to see how that actually happened. You just came over and told me. I was just like, oh. How have you?
Because I've done, on those treadmills in that gym, I've done intervals and I've done incline work, and it feels like one of those, especially faster incline work probably is what I would expect to maybe do that. Actually, that's a good application for treadmills. If you're trying to get that and you live somewhere that doesn't have hills, you get on a treadmill. Because you can kind of,
if you live in the Netherlands or Latvia, very flat mid. If you live somewhere like that, then you're definitely.
But yeah, they're a good substitute for me.
Yeah. No, so if the weather's a bit shit, it's alright. Hop on a treadmill, that's fine. Personally, I love running in the rain, so like.
Yeah, I'm the same in the rain.
That's a bit rain.
I don't mind any conditions to running except for
wind. Yeah, wind is the worst.
But then say there's anything in the wind. Rain I've got no problem with, because typically when it's raining it's normally quite mild.
It's quite nice. Yeah, I actually find it quite like weirdly relaxing.
Yeah,
sometimes when it's cold and you can feel it in your bones a bit, like when you get back and you feel like you water through your.
The maddest thing is in the last 7 days I've literally feel like I'm running every season. So a week ago today we had snow, and I went for a run in that and it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was just brilliant. Obviously bit slippery and stuff like that, but just being out and running in the snow and seeing the local environment that can take a difference, great. Then the next day was sunny, really beautiful sunny, to the point that today's sunny, to the point where I think I was just out in a t-shirt. And then like during the course of the week, it's been rain, it's been wind, it's been hot again. It's been a bizarre week throughout. I think every single day I've like just completely fucked up what I wore.
Yeah,
because like you go out expecting one weather type and an hour later it's completely different.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's just part of it, I guess.
So lessons for today's podcast: get outside, enjoy yourself,
experience,
get yourself out. Running on a treadmill is still okay.
Yeah,
if you don't mind it. Yeah, get yourself out, especially you're living in this country. As soon as the sun's out,
I think
enjoy yourself.
just the biggest thing, go right back to what we talked about at the beginning, is the experience of things is just...
Don't piss on in the gym.
Piss.
No pissing in the gym. No pissing in the gym, please. Especially like, I'm not fucking cleaning up after if they piss in the gym. Not happening. If you're sick in the gym, maybe.
If that happens,
No,
no,
never had that.
I've never seen it.
Never had that, but
I've seen people sit at weigh-ins.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm pretty happy to make weigh-in videos. I've seen people mess their stomachs up from, like, obviously, and end up being shitty because they've been cutting weight, but piss on accident.
Yeah, no pissing in the gym. Get yourself outside. Piss outside. That's the lesson for today.
Seems like a great time to end it.
That's it. Yeah, we'll call it there. Right. See you in the next one.